Hey, I know it's been a while. I've been streaming a lot of Rain World, and I took a break from politics because I was streaming so much Rain World, both on my YouTube and Twitch, but we're back now. I figured I had to talk about the, frankly, demonic actions of ICE, and just how horrible the organization is in general. It's no secret that I despise ICE. Like, vehemently. I hate ICE. One of the reasons why I don't like Obama, because Obama built a lot of the detention facilities that are being used by Trump. But anyways, ICE doesn't do much at all to keep us safe. In fact, I have it pulled up here at multiple sites. Even congress.gov. The majority of people in ICE detention facilities have no criminal record. Zero. So, like, what are they doing? Arresting random people. That's what they're doing. A lot of people in ICE detention facilities have been, ruled by judges that, hey, let this person go. But ICE is like, no, we're going to hold on to them just a little bit longer because we're going to dispute that ruling. Or sometimes they just wait to dispute the ruling, but they still have the person in the detention facilities. The conditions of those detention facilities are horrific. They are concentration camps. But that's aside from it. ICE is not good. They've been ruled to be unlawful. In the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, where he was a unanimous Supreme Court ruling to bring him back. That's insane. Multiple judges have said ICE is unlawful, National Guard is unlawful. ICE has been used for horrific things, and most recently, the murder of, what was her name? Something Goodman. Sorry, can't remember. Sure, it'll come to me in a second. But she was doing nothing wrong, and even if she was, she didn't deserve to be shot over it. She was doing lawful protest. When they came, they didn't come over to question her. ICE came over, tried to rip her out of her car. She started to drive away. The ICE officer was not in front of the car. He was very clearly beside the car, reached over in front of the windshield and shot her and killed her. Renee Goodman, that's the name. That's frankly inexcusable. And I saw a recent article from Zateo. Zateo is a great news outlet run by Mehdi Hassan, great journalist, but it was going over a poll done that said the vast majority of Americans think the murder was unjustified, but the majority of Republicans still think that the murder of Renee Goodman was justified. Even though the vast majority of Democrats think it was unlawful and unjustified, the vast majority of independents think it was unlawful, most Republicans support it. And that's why I don't respect Republicans or conservatives. I don't think I can. Just, it was an innocent lady murdered in cold blood. And I don't see how any sane person can justify ICE's actions. They're pure evil, cartoonishly so. It's just, I don't see the point. They don't do anything to help us. Here, on multiple websites, some say 70% of people in ICE detention facilities have no criminal record. One site says 5% of people have violent convictions. 5%. That means 95 don't. That's absurd. ICE is going to churches, they're going to schools, they're raiding Home Depots. It's crazy. I don't see why anyone can look at that and say, yeah, I support the actions. They should deport that random grandma. It's really sad, really. And ICE has even been shown to wait outside, like, the appointments of people who are trying to apply for US citizenship. There have been many such cases where someone is going through the proper legal channels to become documented. They're undocumented in the US, but they're going to, like, courthouses and stuff to take the steps to get documented. And ICE, they have the records of that, so they know that someone is going to come to try and get the next step of their documentation. So they'll wait outside the courthouse and just arrest them. It's very common. And that's not even to mention the fact that non-US citizens are 2 times less likely than US citizens to commit crimes. They're less violent than us, and they prop up our economy. Immigrants are a vital part of the United States. Look at, I think it was the 2010s. Alabama did a harsh crackdown on immigration. I learned about this in my AP Human Geography class. They did a harsh crackdown on illegal immigrants, kicked them all out, and it collapsed their economy for a while. Irreversible damage, because no one wanted to do the jobs that the illegal immigrants were doing. They do a lot of the work that none of the US citizens want to do. If you want to be upset at the job market, be upset at the billionaires that are replacing your jobs with automation. Don't get mad at the random father that's trying to provide for his family, even though he doesn't have legal status in the country. It's really upsetting to see ICE. And the use of Christianity to justify it is so much worse. I believe it was Marco Rubio made that one ad where it was an ICE ad, or maybe it was the National Guard, I don't remember, one of the two, where he was quoting a Bible verse and showing these horrific actions done by ICE. And it makes Christianity look a lot worse that so many people who claim to be Christian are supporting these violent actions against innocent people. If you want to say, oh, these people are criminals, let's put them in jail, you should find that in the court of law. That's by far the biggest issue with ICE. I agree, criminals should go to jail. I don't think they should be deported, but I think they should go to jail. But you have to prove that they've committed a crime. That's why we have the right to fair and free trial. It's been ruled on, I think by the Supreme Court, the right to fair and free trial extends to everyone. Everyone. If you want to prove someone's an undocumented citizen, you take them to court. You don't just throw them in jail. And even then, I don't care if someone's undocumented, because that is a harmless crime. The documentation and immigration laws are so poorly constructed. It is so difficult and so expensive and time-consuming to legally immigrate. It can take decades and hundreds of dollars just to become legal citizens. A lot of people have family here, and they don't have time to wait decades. Maybe they're fleeing from cartels in Mexico and are seeking asylum. I think they should be allowed to do that. I don't think we should be throwing them in jail. It's so frustrating to see people treat a lot of illegal immigrants as less than human. ICE's actions are indefensible. They are violent, they are brutal, and ICE doesn't deserve to be an agency. I support the full disbandment of ICE. Even if you look at the people who are being hired by ICE, it is, to me, not surprising. There was the footage of one ICE officer who was off duty, and he was spotted with the SS lightning bolts tattooed behind his ear. Now, if you don't know, the SS lightning bolts are a Nazi symbol. It's two lightning bolts next to each other. It's like the second most recognizable Nazi symbol next to a swastika. And then there was the one ICE officer who was arrested for drunk driving. He had his kids in the back of the car and was drunk driving down the road, got pulled over by a police officer. Really entertaining video to watch, but also a little scary, because that's an ICE officer right there. And he says to one of the cops that pulled him over, "Are you Haitian?" It was... ICE is really dumb, but they're also incredibly violent and incredibly scary. The fact that they can just murder someone like Renee Goodman and just get away with it, that's awful. The fact that ICE can just roam around without showing proper identification, because these people are masked agents in unmarked vans who just essentially kidnap people. There have been multiple documented cases of people pretending to be ICE officers and just kidnapping people because we don't have ways of identifying ICE agents. ICE should, at the very least, be required to provide some sort of badge number like a cop does. Police, we know that they're police because they have to show ID, they have identifying factors. It's a lot harder to impersonate a cop than it is an ICE agent, because with an ICE agent, you can just mask up, throw someone in an unmarked van, drive off. What are they going to do? If they resist, they're like resisting an ICE officer, and if it is a real ICE officer, they could get in a lot of trouble for that. But if it's not, they could just get kidnapped by a random person. It's happened so many times. ICE should not be masked for, first off. If you're really that embarrassed of your job, you know, maybe you should think about what you're doing. Because I think a lot of ICE officers, they know what they're doing is wrong. But they don't care. And that's why they mask up. That's why they cover their face. That's why they don't have any badges. That's why they're in unmarked vehicles. No one likes ICE. No one sane likes ICE. I have a difficult time respecting anyone who does like ICE because of how insanely evil they are. Alright, I'm done ranting about ICE. ICE, if you're watching this, my name is Lori, and you can, I don't know, Go to hell. Ooh, scary. I do actually genuinely believe ice is demonic. I despise ice. I think if you threw holy water on ice, they would shriek like a vampire or something. That's another thing. Even the Pope has come out against ice. He said the number one priority of Catholics in the U.S. is to protect immigrants. That is the Pope being against ice. I don't see how anyone can claim that they're a Christian organization. They're not. The Pope is against them. God is against them. I just think ice is terrible. Yeah, see ya. Oh, I almost pressed my mouse. Okay, bye.